Yes, he did. He gives it to Henry. Henry trying to track this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Great Sports Debates. Wanted to try to get some of those predictions out to you here Wednesday night / Thursday morning before all the fun begins. We've been on a pretty good heater lately, and we got a few good parlays for our members as well, starting on this Thursday night. So with that, let's jump into Broncos at the Saints. Now, the number's low here, it's 37, but for good reason. All of the Saints wide receivers are out. Who's going to play? One guy I like is their rookie wide receiver who already seems to have a connection with Spencer Rattler, who's very likely to be the starting quarterback in this game. Now, even though Patrick Surtain is out, I think a lot of the Broncos' pass defense has been a product of their pass rush, which also links to the Saints are missing a lot of guys on their offensive line, including their center. So, you start adding all this stuff up. Saints are missing a lot of wide receivers. They got a rookie quarterback. He was all right last week. Surtain's out, but Denver has a lot of their defensive pieces. Saints are missing a lot of offensive linemen. It looks like it's going to be a struggle for the Saints. Now, is this going to mean Kamara's going to step up and perform? I don't know. He's been trending downward numbers-wise if you look at it. Maybe part of that has been the injuries they've taken to the offensive line. Either way, I like Denver in this game as they have more pieces available even though they're on the road. I like the money line. I like them minus the 2.5. And the number is 37 and dropping for a reason. So maybe you look at the under there, or maybe you adjust that up a little bit. I got the score 2017, but I think that's kind of the high side of it, honestly. So next we have the London game. Now, it's a little tricky here because Jacksonville's played in London a lot. They were just there, so they stayed the extended time. And if you look at it, the Patriots have a lot more injured players. However, I really can't even see too many scenarios. Jacksonville didn't look good again last week. The Patriots have Drake May, which jump-started their offense a little bit. Still have a ton of injured offensive linemen, and maybe the running back's out. So the offense is going to be tough sledding. I like the under here. I believe it's 42.5. I'm picking the Jags to win because everything's pointing in their direction by a field goal. But either way, I like the Patriots with the 5.5 points. Especially if you can bump that up over a touchdown. I feel like that's pretty golden. But outside of that, I'd be looking for some under props because I don't have a lot of faith in either of these teams. All right, on the regular Sunday slate, we have the Titans at Buffalo. Again, like I said, I try to pick these games and get the scores without looking at the overs, unders, the lines. Sometimes I just see some of that stuff because, when you're doing research and you're looking at the injury report or you're checking something out or you're trying to get a certain bet in, you see some of it. So this is one of those weird cases where I picked this game 27-18. It's not like it's rock solid numbers, but it's kind of my guesstimate of, how each team plays against each other. And essentially I had the Bills minus winning by 9, but the line was 9.5. So the reason I got the 9.5 over here is I just don't trust the Titans even with 9.5 points. So even though my score says, I should go with the Titans, I'd still take the Bills minus the 9.5. This isn't one I'm super high on. The numbers kind of boosted up to kind of take out the teaser play. Although, you could do an alternate line as well. This is just kind of having a lot of avoid for me, or maybe something where you take Buffalo money line as part of a parlay and look at some of the props that you can get in this game as well. I feel like Buffalo's going to be able to score the ball. Their defense hasn't looked the greatest, And, Will Levis likes to shoot himself in the foot. So I do think the Titans will score some points, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to make the game competitive. And then finally, we got the big game everyone's been looking about. We kind of talked about this a lot. Maybe I'm going to be in a little bit of a homer here, but despite all of the things pointing against it with the Lions on the road, they lost Aiden Hutchinson, which I actually think is going to be a bigger factor than most people think, because that's going to lend to them not generating a pass rush and them getting destroyed in the passing game. However, I do think the Lions are a better team, and I do think they are trending opposite ways, where the Lions have been ascending and Sam Darnold's coming a little bit back to earth. The two biggest keys, though, in picking this game, you can kind of take this score here with a grain of salt, is if you're interested in betting on it, is waiting and finding out details. If Aaron Jones plays is going to be a big factor, because you saw with Ty Chandler, and I know they just traded for, Cam Akers or somebody, which, will be an upgrade over that, but losing Aaron Jones is a big deal, because I think if they don't have Aaron Jones, they're not going to be able to run against the Lions very well. That's going to make them one-dimensional and maybe be able to pin their ears back, and Darnold's going to have to force a lot of stuff to Justin Jefferson there. Either way, I think the Vikings are going to score a lot. I also think the Lions are going to score regardless, so I'm liking the over a lot here as well. Again, another thing to look at, which is going to be the big matchup that's going to be telling on which team might be in the NFC playoff picture, is going to be the Lions' supposedly top-tier offensive line versus a Vikings pass rush that has probably been the best in the NFL. So despite all the stars, that's the big matchup to watch. But I'm liking Lions money line here. Again, nothing I've bet yet. You want to look at those couple of key things I pointed out, but I do like the over, even though it's a high number at 50.5. You also might want to consider an alternate line at like 48.5 to kind of get on the other side of 49, which is probably one of a couple of really strong key numbers when it comes to NFL games. The Seahawks at Atlanta. I like Atlanta to win this game, although Seattle has some players coming back. 3 seems too small to me. I like Atlanta give up the field goal. Another one I like, we got Cincinnati at Cleveland. I think this is best case scenario. Cleveland scores 17, even on the bad Bengals defense, which did show improvement, albeit it was against the Giants. This team's not consistent, but they have the firepower, and they're going to get enough opportunities that you would think that they beat Cleveland by at least 6. Eagles at the Giants might be in a void for me, but if I did bet it, I'm going to go Eagles minus the field goal. I don't trust the Giants. I think if the Eagles run the ball, they should have the chance to win the game. Dolphins at Indianapolis. The Colts are up and down. I don't trust them a whole lot. But Miami hasn't shown a lot of ability to score too much, especially since Tua's went down. I like the Colts minus 3 in this one. I could see the Colts winning by a touchdown or maybe even more. Raiders at the Rams. I like the Rams minus 6.5 here. I think they probably win by at least a touchdown. Raiders just traded away Adams, and they've looked worse and worse every week. Crosby might not play. They have several other injuries. And the Rams are starting to get some guys back, but are still missing a ton. Okay, the next one's definitely going to be a void for me, but fun to watch. We got Houston at Green Bay. I think this is a close game. I could see either team winning. I could see one team getting off to a strong start and running away with it. The Texans are getting 2.5 points, which is nice. If you flip that over a field goal, that would be maybe worth considering. But two of the better teams, and it's really going to show who's who in the zoo in the NFL this year. Carolina at Washington. This is one you might want to check for the over. I could see Carolina scoring more points, definitely. I definitely think Washington's going to win. I like Washington minus 8 as well here. Another game we're probably going to avoid is Kansas City at San Francisco. This is a pretty evenly matched game. However, the Chiefs have played better so far. They've had better results so far. And I would lean Chiefs money line in this game. Sunday Night Football is kind of a snoozer. Although I think the Jets are going to be hyped up. Aaron Rodgers got his guy, Devontae Adams. I'm assuming he's going to be able to jump right in and play. That's going to kind of boost their wide receiver room across the board. Plus, Rodgers has familiarity with them. The question is he going to have time to throw the ball? So, Steelers on the other side continue to miss offensive linemen. I think they're going to struggle to score. So, I could definitely see the scoring being lower than we have it here. So, maybe the under's in play. I'm liking Jets -2, but every time I think about taking the Jets -2, I just remind myself TJ Watt and how the offensive line has played for the Jets. And so we haven't quite got there yet. And we have the silly 2 games on Monday night. Again, I got Ravens winning on the road, although I'd probably lean if I bet it. Buccaneers getting the field goal and a half. I see a lot of scoring here. This is an over we might bet. The Ravens are down a lot of cornerbacks. They've been giving up a lot of points lately. Tampa Bay has proven that they're a team that has scored big numbers more often than not. And I think the Ravens are going to be able to keep up with them despite Tampa Bay's tough run defense. This is the top team when it comes to rushing. So, interesting game here. I'm probably leaning towards Buccaneers with field goal plus. And finally, this one's probably going to be an avoid for me as well. We got the Chargers at Arizona. It's kind of hard to figure either of these teams out. Chargers is a little more cut and dry. The offense just really isn't that strong. If they can get into running the ball, they can do well enough. And they have a really strong defense. The Cardinals have been up and down. They're probably going to be without Harrison, although he's listed as questionable. And they're missing a few pieces that might slow down their offense, plus the Chargers defense. So, again, in a close game, but the Cardinals aren't even getting a field goal. So, pick who you like here. This one's probably an avoid for me. So, that's all the picks. Let me know in the comment section what you like, what you dislike. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And as always, thanks for watching.